Hi, welcome to this edition of ELCAT News. I'm Cameron Sutton. At Tuesday's meeting, the Town Council heard a presentation from Maxine Stein, President of Jewish Family Service of Western Massachusetts, regarding the Council's consideration of local involvement in refugee resettlement.
So what do we need from the community? To be friendly, to be welcoming. If you want to get involved, get involved. If you would like to tutor a child or do homework, help, fantastic. But you don't have to.
So, Ms. Stein, is it fair to say then that were you to resettle a family into an available housing here in town, there really is no financial obligation or burden on the municipality?
That's absolutely 100% correct.
Because I do think that tends to be the presumption of folks that may not be well read on the topic.
Exactly right. I think that so often people are so fearful and so worried that a newcomer will take away services from current citizens and current people in the community, and that is simply not the case.
Jewish Family Services is a private social service agency that provides support for refugee resettlement, in part through funding from the U.S. State Department.
Refugee resettlement agencies and the families are given a pot of money to do the resettlement work.
Okay,
and so the clergy wouldn't have access to
It's all clear now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The matter, without the benefit of your being able to be present to give backup, did come before the council, and we, as a council, voted to not take any action on it. I would recommend at the present that we just
table it.
or take it under advisement so that we can, with this much more full backed up information, as well as the comments from our residents, address this matter again.
Also at Tuesday's meeting, the Council voted to accept a bylaw necessary to establish a charter review committee, a citizen panel required under the town's Home Rule Charter.
A special charter review committee, as mandated in Article 9, Section 2 of the Town Charter, shall be periodically established as provided below. The Town Council shall establish the committee in each year ending in 0 and no later than July 1 of that year. The committee must submit a written report to the Town Council on or before March 15 of the following year. The committee's charge is as described in Article 9, Section 2 of the Charter. The committee shall be comprised of 7 registered voters of the town with the following restrictions. No more than 2 members can be current town councilors. No more than 2 members can be former Charter Commission members. No more than 2 members can be employees of the town. At least 2 members shall be persons who are not current town councilors or town employees, nor former Charter Commission members.
The committee reviews and may propose changes to the charter itself. Such proposed changes are then subject to vote at a town election. Town Manager Mary McNally announced that the Health Department has received a $50,000 grant from the Commonwealth to support shared public health services with Longmeadow.
The Health Department has recently received a $50,000 annualized grant from the Mass Department of Public Health, payable out in those increments over 5 years. It's like the second largest award granted to a municipality. We applied for almost $80,000. It was a $400,000 pool over the 5-year period, and they were awarded $50,000. But it's to promote the shared services agreement that we're working on with the town of Longmeadow. And on Friday, Amy Petrosky and I met with a representative of the Department of Public Health, Pioneer Valley Planning, and 3 members of this organization called HRIA, Health Resources in Action. They are a consulting firm from Boston, which was awarded the contract to do an assessment in both communities to get a work plan together. And this is all on top of a community compact grant that was granted a couple of years ago to the Health Department to initialize this operation. So my comment about the grants is that it's, in my opinion, it's evidence of the Commonwealth's desire to have rural communities maximize the opportunity to work together. Last week alone, we had 3 meetings with the town of Long Meadow, town manager, DPW, and their health coordinator on this health services agreement, on our waste contracts, and on the potential to go to civil dispatch in Westcom in Chicopee, which is where Long Meadow has recently signed on.
At the Board of Assessors meeting on Tuesday, Director Diane Bishop showed the board a worksheet prepared by the office and available online at the Assessor's Town webpage that explains for taxpayers the reasons most homeowners saw an increase on their third quarter tax bills.
So the 2020 tax bills have gone out, and we have had quite a few questions on on people's tax bills. Most of the questions that most taxpayers start with is how much their taxes went up, and because they look at their third quarter payment and they multiply it times 4. And so we do try our best to explain that you're playing catch up for quarter 1 and quarter 2 because we didn't know the tax rate or the value. So we have devised a form to help people understand. We have a form at the counter now that says, okay, let's look at your preliminary tax. This is what you paid. Here's your new. This is the remaining amount. We divide it by 2, but then your next August and November payments will then come down, and I don't know if the board has seen it, but this is pretty much what we have done. People will come in and say my taxes went up like 12%, and when in all actuality it went up 6%.
Bishop also noted that ELCAT has prepared a short video on the topic, which will be broadcast following this edition of ELCAT News. It is also available online at ELCAT 01028.
We have put that together, and he is hoping to do more videos, little short videos, such as, Prop 2.5, why did my taxes go up more than 2.5%, and then talk about the overall town levy and things like that.
On Tuesday, January 21st, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on a request for special permit from Stephen Graham of East Long Meadow to open a carryout ice cream stand in the train depot building located at the head of the bike trail on Maple Street. Graham purchased the building in 2013. The land is currently owned by Seven Road Station Incorporated of West Springfield. The board also expects to vote on the site plan for a solar farm proposed for a large parcel off of Peace Road. The project has been a source of controversy since it was first proposed early last year, when developers sought a zone change for the land from residential to industrial. Following a ruling by the Massachusetts Land Court invalidating restrictions in the town's solar bylaw, the developers then sought site plan approval for the project under the existing zoning. And finally, the East Long Meadow Public Library hosted local author and Meadowbrook School second grader Lena Callan DeRuccio for its pajama night on Wednesday. Lena's book, Lucky Finn, describes her own experience embracing the challenges and wonders of being a very special and lucky kid.
I think it's important to teach people about my special hand. That way they'll stop staring, keep on asking people, blah, 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 what's wrong with your hand, and stuff. So then
You can watch a video produced by Meadowbrook School staff of Lena reading her book and talking about her experience.
she was born July 28th, 2012. It was a sunny day. Her parents named her Lena. Lena soon discovered she was born with a special hand. Her parents called it her Lucky Fin.
That's it for this edition of ELCAT News. I'm Karen Sutton. See you next week.